We're at 8:30 and time for our high beam this morning. And as promised, we have come through with the mayor of Dover, Shane Gunnoe, who is with us this morning. Good to see you. How have you been?
Good morning. Great to be here.
Good. It's always good to have you and find out what's happening in Dover, Ohio.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a lot of things go on in Dover, Ohio. So we...
Well, you know me. I like talking about all things Dover and all the good stuff we've got going on in town.
Lifelong resident? Did you ever move away?
I except for the time I lived in college, I'm pretty much a lifelong resident.
I don't think we have to count that, do we?
I don't know.
So we are looking forward. It's almost summertime. I mean, we can see by the calendar. And a significant anniversary is coming up, and you're going to have a celebration here this month. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so obviously summer is kind of the busy time for the city. It's when you get a lot of projects going on, but also very important to us is it's the 150th anniversary of our fire department coming up, and we're going to have an open house and a little celebration on May 20th at from noon to 4. The public is welcome to come, and they can come and go as they please, but we'll have a little opening ceremony to start things off.
Good. Chief Volkert, I hope, is involved there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Chief Volkert, the fire union, they've been planning this for some time. They're going to have things like bounce houses for the kids, tours of the fire station, the new fire station. It's at Dublin Drive on the north end. That actually has not been opened to the public. It opened just shortly before COVID started. Yeah. So the open houses and all that kind of fun stuff got canceled. So we thought this is a good chance for the public to really see, their tax dollars at work and the quality that is the Dover Fire Department, the great people that are the Dover Fire Department. They're also going to have a pipe and drum band come down from Cleveland area, and it'll be a great day.
That sounds wonderful. So that's on the 20th of May, and then before the month is over, we've got another festival going on.
Yeah, then the following weekend is Canal Days. So that's always a big weekend in Dover. We'll have the parade that Saturday at noon, and then starting Friday night. And running through Sunday evening, that the Memorial Day weekend, we'll have Canal Days. They tell me that they've got more vendors at this point than they've ever had, so it should be a good time for the public.
Well, I didn't know when we brought you in here we'd be talking about all parties all the time.
Yeah.
So that is good. Speaking of canals, I don't want to go out of order here, but talked about the towpath before. What's the update on that?
Yeah, so some good news on that. We were approved for our planning grant. So what that means is the state of Ohio is going to foot the bill for them to bring in, and we've already requested those planners to assist us, provide us with technical assistance, estimates, all the permitting, all the fun stuff for both the bridge that's required over the Tuscarawas River to get into the Riverfront Park from the north, and then also all the planning and the estimates for construction for the remainder of the route going through to New Philadelphia. New Philadelphia's grant was approved as well. So hopefully everything by the fall of this year we'll have all that kind of paperwork done, and we'll be ready to apply to them for a second round of funding to hopefully pay for the project.
Once that's finished in Dover and New Philly, is that the final connection from Dover to Cleveland?
That it would be done. Yeah, I believe it's 108 miles from Dover to Cleveland. This is the last section of the towpath trail that has not been completed over the course of about the last 30 years. So obviously the state is keen on, I think, getting this done. A lot of the regional groups are keen on getting that done and really helping for it to serve as kind of a funnel for tourism into Tuscarawas County.
It is. I mean, I'm sure you've been exposed to it in other areas. It's nice.
Yeah, and absolutely. And every person that comes on that trail, they stop and eat. They, maybe they go get ice cream or whatever. And so all of those things, help spur investment in Tuscarawas County. So that's really important, I think, to the both Dover, New Philly, Tuscarawas County as a whole to complete that project.
We're good on tourism money coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
We like that.
Yep.
You talked about a bridge there. Tell us about another bridge that's going to undergo a complete renovation, I guess, right?
Yeah, a complete replacement. So we're replacing the 21st Street Bridge down from Dover Middle School, if you know where we're at. That bridge is about 100 years old and has started to have weight limits on it and all of those things. We received some federal grant money, about $600,000, and we budgeted the rest of it from our city budgets over the last few years. It is out to bid right now, and we hope that, assuming we get a successful bidder, we hope to start work on that this fall.
That would be nice. I know some of the traffic that kind of shortcuts through there is going to have to go around the other way, but
it'll be a temporary inconvenience, and hopefully it only has to happen once every 100 years, like the last one.
That would be nice too. What other upgrades are going on? Because I know it's almost paving season. So what are we doing there?
Yeah, we're spending a very significant amount of money on paving. We're paving, if your listeners could picture, from 3rd Street from Commercial Avenue into downtown, 4th Street from Commercial Avenue into Tuscarawas Avenue over the bridge, where the railroad tracks are. Those areas, in my opinion, have needed it for some time. But we're also doing a lot of paving in our residential neighborhoods this year, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, on the west side of town, Evergreen, Parkdale. We've put back, so far we've appropriated about $650,000, and I think the auditors kind of getting tired of me coming in and asking if we could come up with a few more bucks. So I hope to get that number a little higher, and we hope to add a few more streets as we go.
That would be nice. Now, last year you were able to, I thought you got lucky. You had some money that you were able to spend, and the weather cooperated to get some late season paving done that you don't have to worry about for a
Correct.
while.
Yeah. So we had some money that we were able to set aside, a significant amount. We set aside last year a record amount for paving. And that's a tough act to follow, but we're going to try and do our best to get close to that number again this year. And we hope that the weather cooperates and we're able to, come back around as funds allow, maybe for a second pass.
Yeah. Any updates on and this is out of the blue, sorry. The North End development, has that taken any more steps?
I meet with the group that is leading that development project. We meet probably about every other week. Okay. There are a number of business entities that have expressed some interest, significant interest. Nothing I'm allowed to release yet to the public because I don't want to make them mad at me. But I believe, based off the conversations we've had and some of the conversations I've had with the people who are interested in those lots, I believe everything's headed in the right direction, and we'll have some positive announcements here in the near future.
That sounds good. Just on your opinion here, we've come out of this pandemic period. What does it feel like the economic outlook is going to be over the next 3 to 5 years, in your opinion?
Well, I think that the economic outlook, at least for our city, is really good. We're fortunate to have a really diverse business base, and most of them, nearly all of them, have weathered the pandemic very well. Certainly, everybody's had challenges. To me, in my mind, the issue that's going to become a hindrance to economic development is, quite honestly, we need a lot of bodies. The number of workforce availability. We've got to work to drive that, to promote that, to ensure we have the workforce to meet the needs of the future, and that we're growing as a community, on the residential side as well. So that I spoke to on that North End development. I spoke to a developer who said, "Look, if I have X number of jobs and I need to bring people into your community, where would we put new housing?" And so those kind of things are going to be important to address as well. But I think overall the economic outlook for both Dover and Tuscarawas County is very good over the next 5 years.
That's good to hear. One more thing. Are there any updates on the light plant? Negative, positive, otherwise?
We're just completing the shutdown at the light plant. So every year we close the plant in the spring, and they do all their renovation work in like a 6-week window, right? No pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because it's the time when power is the cheapest. So when we take that offline, if we have to buy that power, obviously. So we started that April 1, and it'll probably be done within about the next week or so. Everything seems to be coming in under budget, under estimates. Right on time. We should be ready to turn that thing on. So cross your fingers. Yeah. So far, so good. Typically we would spend about $100,000 to $150,000 a year on welding. Just that for that shutdown alone. They do a lot of refurbishment there, and we're looking at more like $50,000 this year. So, like I said, everything looks to be coming in on track. We monitor that real closely.
Wow, that's good, and I'm sure the power customers are happy to hear that too.
Absolutely. That's part of my big part of my initiative is to make sure everybody's staying within their budget and their means, and that we're doing our best to keep our utilities low and affordable for our residents.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody appreciates that, right?
Thanks so much for being here. We always like talking to you.
Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
Mayor Shane Gunnoe of the city of Dover, our guest this morning on our 8:30 High Beam here on the Tug.